Hi everyone, today we're doing a quick tutorial on one of the more useful tools in Illustrator. The Pathfinder tool is really helpful when you're creating your vector designs in Illustrator because it allows you to easily create shapes or cut shapes out of other shapes along with a ton of other functions. So we're just going to go through the whole Pathfinder window real quickly. So first I'm going to go into my window menu. And I am going to scroll down to the Pathfinder. That will just open that Pathfinder window for me if I don't have it open already. So I'm gonna drag it out here so it stays. And so first we're gonna go in and use these shape mode tools at the top. So first is the Unite one. This one's pretty self-explanatory. If you select two different vector shapes, and you just hit that Unite tool, they'll unite it into one object. So as you can see, it's one object now, so the entire thing filled in with that pink color. Okay, the next tool we have is the minus front tool. So the minus front tool is going to, it's going to cut out that top shape layer out of the bottom layer. So if I hit that tool, you see it cut that pink circle that's on top out of that bottom yellow square. So next is the intersect tool. I'm going to select my shapes, and the intersect actually creates a new shape out of the overlapping shapes in between your two vectors. So as you can see, it only preserves that little overlapping part between my two shapes. Next is the exclude tool. So exclude tool is pretty much going to do the exact opposite, and it's going to leave that overlapping part and just keep everything else. And so that'll also turn it into one shape. So it's, as you can see, we have our one pink shape with the little crescent in the middle cut out. So next is my divide tool. So these are now going into the bottom section of this window, the Pathfinder tools. So the first tool is that divide tool. So divide actually, it breaks up your existing shapes into multiple shapes. So as you can see, if I go ahead, so you can see this better, I'm just going to ungroup these. And as you can see, it just broke up those into the square, the circle, and then the overlapping part. So the trim tool is going to cut the top layer to reveal the back layer. So if we go ahead and hit that trim, so once I ungroup them, as you can see, I just pull these apart, and these are two different shapes. So kind of like that minus front tool, except it preserves the original shape in front. So for my merge tool, I'm going to need a second shape of the same color as one of the shapes. So I'm just going to create another little rectangle there that's pink. And so then I am going to select this, and I am going to hit my merge tool. And what you can see, as you can see, what the merge tool does is it unites the parts that are the same color, and it kind of cuts out those yellow parts. So if I go ahead and ungroup these, it united the two pink shapes and it cut those two yellow shapes away from it. Next is the crop tool. The crop tool crops the existing shapes and leaves behind the overlapping area. So as you can see, I'm gonna hit that crop tool, and it leaves you with, just like the intersect tool, it leaves you with the overlapping area, but it also gives you the outline of that other shape. So if I were to apply a stroke to that, you can see that outline. The outline tool, kind of self-explanatory. It creates, instead of fills, it creates outlines of all of the shapes that are included. So if I hit this outline tool and I need to make sure to put a stroke on it, I can see that I have just outlines of all of these shapes. And finally, the minus back tool, it's going to do the exact opposite thing of that minus front tool, and it's going to subtract the back layer from the front layer, as opposed to our minus front tool, which took the front layer from the back layer. So we're just left with that kind of cut off pink circle. So that's just a basic overview of the Pathfinder. There's also a ton of uses that you can use these tools for when you're making vector graphics. So hopefully that was helpful. Thank you.